Sponsored by EA. Hey friends, it's AlluringSimmer here, and today we're going to be talking about the latest Sims 4 update. So if you didn't already know, we got a new update for the Sims 4 to prepare for the upcoming expansion pack, Enchanted by Nature. It has several new features, and they've also done a bunch of bug fixes and improvements to help with our sim playing experience. I'm pretty sure one of those bug fixes is them fixing the rain and snow indoors that has been affecting people who have seasons. It also mentions here, thank you for your support and continue reporting efforts via EA forums. It really helps us identify the issues you care the most about. And it says the forums are also a great spot for reporting issues with text and translation. So I'd highly recommend that if you're having any issues or bugs that you know is not being caused by like CC or mods, then to report those things on the EA forums so that way we can get these issues fixed. So the first exciting update that we have is improvements to Sims inventory. It says, do your Sims have a lot of stuff in their inventory? We've made life a little easier with some usability improvements. You can now sort your Sims inventory by new, which is the default option in the drop-down menu, and then they will appear at the top with a special badge. We also got a price, filter, crafted quality, and rarity sort option for inventory items, and this works for fridges, bookcases, and other storage objects. It also mentions that spoiled foods now have a red background to indicate they've gone bad. So you can see right here, we have that little icon. If you click it, it'll pop up with all the spoiled food that is in your Sims inventory. It says, once items spoil, they move from their original stack to the spoiled stack, and players can open the spoiled stack to view all items within it. So the next thing we got is a notebook update. So it says property of Bob Pancake, and then you can see it has a fishing section here, a gardening section. It shows all the different plants and stuff that he knows about. And then it says, dive into the refreshed notebook where organization meets creativity. The latest update brings a suite of enhancements that makes managing your Sims notes and discoveries a breeze. Whether you're jotting down notes for your Sim or exploring unique categories, the notebook is now more intuitive and engaging than ever before. The one thing that I did notice is it says your Sims notes here, I think like 250 characters, and it seems like you are able to write your own notes in the notebook. So like maybe you're trying to figure out how to splice certain plants together to create a new one, you could like add your notes in game so that way you don't have to like have another tab open to check that info. I can see this coming in handy for a lot of different reasons as a way to like remember things that you need to know. It says new layout, enjoy a spacious layout that accommodates new content effortlessly, discover new category pages showcasing unique details, keep track of new discoveries with badges on unseen items in your collections, and if a new discovery is added, a badge will highlight those categories. And then it says back button to navigate between categories in the main menu, direct access buttons which allow you to access household collections and Sim stats directly from the notebook. And if you're on console, you can enjoy improved scrolling with the right analog stick, making navigation even better. So now we're going to go into the new household collections interface. I'm glad that they kind of revamped this because I know that this is a thing, but I honestly forget to even like look at it. And this seems a lot more like user friendly. So it says now it's even easier to see all the things your Sims have collected as a household. The Sims inventory button animates when a new collection item is found. Once opened, the diamond icon in the top right glows green to notify you. I just hope that this won't get annoying because it says it animates. So we'll see what this animation looks like in a moment, but I'm just hoping that it's not too like intrusive. And it says on the collection page, categories have a badge to show they have new items. Collections have a new layout for easier viewing of categories. Progress is shown by a progress around each collection. Oh, like the little bar, a progress bar around each collection. And then it says a new drop-down menu lets you sort collections by completion progress or name. Within specific collections, you can filter by rarity, name, recent, bonus items, and missing. Collections can be accessed from both a Sims inventory and the notebook. And now this is something that I know a lot of builders are going to be excited about, and it's glass walls. We already have glass roofs, and I feel like now you can make a full greenhouse even if you don't have the greenhouse kit. So we have these glass walls. There's a bunch of different patterns, and then it says add some transparency to your Sims life with glass walls. In build mode, select build, then select wall patterns in the miscellaneous filter. You'll find a selection of glass walls that perfectly complement the glass roof. So what's nice is you can obviously use them in combination, but I also feel like you could use these to create your own like custom window. windows. And what I mean by that is we don't really have any like sort of frameless almost windows like this, because obviously these are not windows, these are walls, but I feel like you could panel them in a way to create windows in your space that are like floor to ceiling. So that will be really fun. And now we can place plants on roofs, so like regular plants, and they will lay nice and flat on the roof. It says, want to add some organic greenery to your builds? Try placing plants on roofs. A selection of shrubs and flowers can now be placed on rooftops in build mode if the footprint allows it. To see what kind of plants are available for roofs, enter build mode and select roof sculptures. If you happen to be looking at outdoor plants, hovering over any plant will tell you if the plant is roof placeable or not. For inspiration, we recently launched a garden challenge in our Discord community, and there's a link here if you want to participate in that. All right, let's get into the bug fixes. Okay, the top fixes: rain, go away, come again another day, just not inside. Rain and snow now stay out of enclosed rooms. I'm so happy about that. I actually turned off rain and snow, and that is so awful. Like, I don't think that should have been going on for so long, but I also understand that they were like being transparent, that they were like actively working on it, so I do appreciate that, but I still just think it was too long, you know. I can still complain a little bit, but I'm very happy that we now don't have to worry about rain and snow inside, and we can experience all the seasons the way that The Sims intended. And then it says the eyedropper tool was grumpy about some items. We put them into proper categories, so now the eyedropper is much happier, and townies will now have more diversity in their names. This has been an issue where I feel like since like Island Living or something like that, I've heard a lot of people say that like all the names will be like names for Sims that are from Silani or like Mount Komorebi, and like there's not a lot of variety, but with townies, so when you randomize the names would still be like, you know, a wide range, but now townies will spawn with more diversity in their names. Now when it comes to live mode, it says children no longer become silly stretchy Sims when picking up a violin. The top secret recipe for the Fear Be Gone potion has been altered to include redacted, so it properly cures the Sims' fear of the dark. The game descriptions of business chic kit, refined living room kit, and home chef hustle in the main menu now have consistent headers. Mature plants no longer are transparent in laptop mode. Your garden will look lush if you continue to care for it, of course, and this is DX11, so I don't know if it applies if you're playing on DX9. And then it says Sims eyes close better in more forms of sleeping. No longer shall false rumors of friendship and romance haunt your neighborhood stories updates. Nay, now they shall be nothing but true. Sims can now plant in off-law planters in Henford-on-Bagley, Chestnut Ridge, and Moonwood Mill. Wait, that's actually nice, because I think there's like community garden areas, and I guess you probably couldn't do that before. And this is perfect timing, especially since Enchanted by Nature is going to be like very plant heavy. It says, who doesn't love a fabulously decorated space? When your Sim is surrounded by top-notch decor, they'll now be able to enjoy related moodlet. No more getting lost in the snow. The go home interaction now stays in the queue even when your Sim is busy with snow activities. It's a lot of bug fixes. We love that. Interactions for locking computers, mopping puddles, and autonomously leaving lots are now more performant. Notebook highlights now appear only for the Sim with the relevant notebook content, even after switching household Sims. Selfies using the take photo with interaction now could include Flower Bunny, Yamachan, Bone Hilda, Alice Edith, Trashly Real Pearson, Sammy Garcia, Mysterious Rancher, Horse Trainers clones, and various Batu Sims. I'm actually very happy about that. Grafting now only uses one shoot per plant, so your inventory of shoots won't vanish faster than a gardener's afternoon tea. Enjoy your extra shoots for more gardening adventures. Purchase seeds remains available for all gardening surfaces, even when your Sim's green thumb hits level 7. Keep your gardening spree going. Ghost and vampire parents now call to express their disappointment when your Sim is caught cheating on university homework. Even during the day, no supernatural loopholes for academic mischief. Even the most ethereal little ones can now be selected to be put to bed, ensuring child ghosts are snugly tucked in for the night. The call Plum Bob now appears for infant, toddler, and child vampires, merfolks, and spellcasters, ensuring even the youngest occult beings display their unique status. Cats and dogs no longer have turn-ons or turn-offs. Wait, that was just funny. I'm sorry. I actually did not know that that was a thing. After all, they don't care about our fashion or music taste. They just want to get fed and charm us in their own quirky ways. That is hilarious that they had to. Honestly, I think they should have left that one. That's a good one. The adventurous gnome and high rider gnome now display halo and flame effects correctly. Sparks are flying. Sims can now enjoy intimate interactions right in the hot tub. And lastly, Patchy the Scarecrow is now off the market for created date. Oh. Oh, I don't like that one. Okay, now we will get into the console updates. So when selecting a sim for travel, the right trigger R2 button now correctly confirms your selection, aligning with the controller legend's instructions. Controllers can now navigate through all sections of live mode, interfaces, and game options without skipping any sections. And toddlers no longer can access the reward store. Toddlers will stay focused on playtime, not shopping. Now let's get into build mode. So it says the HBD double front door now is a little taller to be on par with other medium height doors. The classic OG ceiling paint now has a name, Basic Matte Concrete. TVs no longer float when placed on the Bold Indulgence hallway table and the Superior Mission foyer table. I'll have to look at those. And then it says for saved games, this fix will move any items on these tables into the household inventory. Then it said, did you know an aloe vera plant was hiding in build mode and now has the category so you can find it? I didn't know that, but now we do. And then there's some creative sim bug fixes. The Reaper's rewards buckle boots now fit better. The adorable fuzzy bear slippers are now fixed for female sims. A handful of missing feminine fashion choice clothes are now available for masculine frame sims. The missing texture on the hoodie for female sims has been restored, and clipping and missing textures on the clothes have been addressed. The ones that are highlighted here. If you want to get the full details, you can click the article in the description because it just has like the codes for all of the items. Now we're gonna get into the expansion packs. Guys, I'm not even joking. This is a lot of bug fixes and there's still more to come. There's still more things to be fixed, but I do appreciate how many things we got with this update. For Get to Work, retail workers have agreed to show up for work and open the store properly even if the owned business is not yet owned by the player household. You want to make an out of this world alien nursery? The Nanu bassinet is now available in build mode, and the socks are now tagged as sleepwear so they can fit in with all of the other children's socks that were also sleepwear. With seasons, as noted above, rain and snow now stay out of enclosed rooms, and on holidays, Sims now get a reminder to wait or select a later time for a new event when there's already an event in place, so they can enjoy the event without double booking. For Get Famous, this is a partial fix. It says fashion can be anything, but some Sims were taking it too far. Sims in the style influencer career now wear more appropriate accessories to work. This is a partial fix for the larger issue of Sims having questionable fashion choices in various situations. More to come. So I'm wondering if with that, it means like maybe they're gonna fix townies, you know, make it so that they don't spawn with random outfits, maybe just give them styled looks. That could be an option. It also says, added the missing swatches for 2 of the acting career hairstyles. Wearing a Georgian period wig never looks so good. Calls about a celebrity feud now come from appropriate press sources, avoiding those awkward moments with children or unexpected callers. Actor Sims now complete their auditions without any issue, ensuring gigs are marked as finished. No more dramatic exits, just a star-studded wrap-up. Okay, I'm very happy about that bug fix because I was playing with Get Famous multiple times and I had to keep redoing things, playing with like debug settings and all this stuff just to get my Sims to like do their auditions, to the point where I just ended up leaving the career. So again, so happy about the seasons fix with the weather indoors, and this fix with your Sims being able to do auditions, because these are like major gameplay features, so if they're not working, it's like taking away from the pack. Okay, next we have Island Living, which added 2 missing/hidden variants to the masculine and feminine versions of the lifeguard swimsuits. Discover University, they said they were too excited about School Spirit Day and really wanted to make sure you knew what's happening. We asked it to chill now, so it'll just remind you once. Yeah, I think it used to pop up like 3 or 4 or 5 times all at once, so very happy about that. And it also says that Sims no longer get stuck in an infinite loop of packing up to move out of a dorm. Children no longer pull out a tablet and stretch awkwardly for civic duties. They've traded in their stretch routines for playtime and homework instead, and that's for Eco Lifestyle. In Snowy Escape, we have found you a shrubbery. The Komorebi shrubbery is now available in regular build mode and no longer solely exists in the wedding venue category. Cottage Living. Agatha and Agnes can no longer marry into a household, sparing them from being cloned. Honestly, one Agnes is enough. Also, when asking for Agatha's hand in marriage, her response is now polite yet firm decline instead of gibberish text. Having too much fun with cousin Agnes to settle down. down. And if you invite her to move in, she'll now kindly remind you she's perfectly content where she is. Keep trying, but don't expect wedding bells. Then it says, chickens, cows, and llamas no longer age up and eventually die when animal aging is disabled in game settings. Players rejoice, but Grim is sad. Set 12 of the garden party wainscoting wallpaper now distinct from set 9. The child's frilly blouse with a bow no longer appears for the masculine fashion choice. Fashion emergency averted. The solid black variant of the pants now fit better around the waist so they don't become high-waisted. Okay, high school years. It says prom now shows on the calendar for teens. Even if their birthday will be before prom, you can choose whether to delay their birthday for that once-in-a-lifetime prom experience. Also, the prom event will now properly appear on the calendar and teen sims can attend. Classes back in session. High school goals now show with the active career format. Students can focus on class, exams, and activities without cancellations or errors. Graduation events now appear on a graduate sims calendar after switching to build mode and manage worlds. Sims who traveled no longer failed to gain followers on Social Bunny. Sims were feeling a little too intimidated by photo booths to take pictures, specifically while on dates, but that's not a problem anymore. Sims can also ride together on peer attractions while on a date, and high school years hats now are in their proper hat subcategories. Next up, we have growing together. We're all excited when an infant reaches a new milestone. However, we didn't need to be reminded over and over again. Infant milestones no longer are marked as new if a user switches to another sim and back. When carrying infants in the back carrier, sims can now plant seeds without resetting. Canceling the make friendship bracelet interaction now keeps sims steady, no more unexpected resets. We love that. Horse ranch. Hiring a ranch hand via the community board now highlights the hire service interaction correctly. The horse ranch expansion pack tooltip now correctly displays the game's title on the store page. For rent, I don't know if they fixed the game breaking bug with like the corrupted save files, but it does say tenants can now pay rent after bills are delivered. Sims who live in a residential rental or own one as a landlord now have their household funds removed after they've transferred them to a business fund. Child hairstyle with the blunt bang now has a previously missing swatch. Save files with 15 or more rental units on a lot no longer missing thumbnails. The fisherman's slats window tall now has a thumbnail that reflects its compatibility with medium and tall walls. Moldy demise was giving sims a funky spring in their step, even in the afterlife. Now ghosts who died from mold levitate smoothly through 90-degree stair landings. And now we're on Love Struck. The fear of being alone was causing relationships to drop drastically unless your sim was mean to the other sim. We had to sit down and inform the sims that this wasn't how healthy romance works and the issues when resolved. Okay, I'm so glad to know that that was a bug because that was literally happening in my most recent like eco lifestyle gameplay, and I was literally like checking to see if my mods was causing that issue because my sim has the fear of being alone and I was doing all the steps to like get over the fear and she just wouldn't get over it, and then it was also making the relationship drop every time they traveled somewhere or did anything. So I'm so glad that that's fixed. Romantic satisfaction now appears properly in a sim's profile, and previously blocked romantic interactions are available, which might in fact improve that romantic satisfaction that you can now view properly. Everyone wins. That just went full circle. We love that. Getting a degree at university now helps the romance consultant career. Ever want to dress up your date you met on Cupid's Corner? Outfits changed and create a sim now appear in that sim's outfit menu. Wait, I wonder if they fixed the voices thing with Cupid's Corner. Sims no longer attempt to cuddle with another sim who's already sleeping. The custom relationship labeling in the sim profile no longer has llama corn issues or flow issues. Sure. The hairstyles, the long hairstyle from the pack has been placed in a hair category, making it easier to find than ever before. The Love Struck stockings now are available for everyday, formal, and of course party outfits. As a creator date or creator hangout event ends, changing venues is quicker with events concluding and rewards given properly. When children become teens, they develop their romance skill from the ground up. The Tempting Sweethearts box no longer is available on a locked computer. The long wavy hair now contours better to the torso. The romantic neck rose tattoo thumbnail in Create a Sim no longer zooms in when selecting different swatches on console. Now we are on to Life and Death. Console players using a controller are now able to select genetic options after rebirth. The Make Heirloom interaction is now available for all occult sims on the active lot. Enjoy creating heirlooms with ease, wherever your sims reside. The Moon Revelry Festival no longer shows an empty interface in the upper left corner. Sims can freely enjoy moon bathing, night swims, and fire dancing without distractions. The Ghost Mastery interface now opens reliably from notifications. Ghosts can now be selected for the Ask to be introduced to, social for infants, making supernatural meet and greets possible. They had to calm ghosts down a bit to smooth out the end of Possessed and Transcendent Woohoo. Summoning Lady Raven Dancer Goth via your tarot deck no longer creates a new Lady Raven Dancer Goth each time. There's only one. There can only be one. The Moment of Death and Rebirth menus now resize appropriately with the game. Planning a funeral at a crypt no longer results in duplicate urns in the sim inventory. When all of your household sims go home to Ravenhood from a festival or another neighborhood, the camera now goes home with them. Goals in the I Wanna Get Busy category now displayed correctly. The ghost toggle buttons in Create a Sim no longer flicker when hovering near the edge of the ghost icon. Ghost abilities to repair and clean are now more performant. Sims viewing an heirloom to remember departed Sims is more performant. Now we're on to business and hobbies, and then we're gonna get into the game pack. So it says the cute little tuck-in top has received masculine and feminine fashion choices tagging. Deleting walls or items on the ground floor of a home business no longer causes the game to become unresponsive, and the Nordhaven vendor stalls and craft stalls are now correctly categorized in build and buy mode. They no longer appear under life event activities and are sorted under outdoor activities and miscellaneous, reflecting their everyday use. Alright, now let's get into the game packs. So the first game pack is Vampires. Vampires won't lose their fangs in live mode if their dark form was selected in Create a Sim. Both ghosts and vampires now can hit the gym during the day and see mega gains. They didn't want to do it before. Understandable. We fixed a variety of issues where vampires without the sun-resistant perks weren't fully living their life during the day. Vampires may not show up in mirrors, but vampire teens now are available when selecting a sim for slow dance together on a stereo. Parenthood, the modern face value fridge now is available in teal to better match other teal kitchen appliances in Parenthood. Strangerville's descriptions now spells everything correctly, no mysteries here except for the ones you'll uncover with the town's intriguing residents. Realm of Magic, be on the lookout, the Night Wraith now spawns for spellcasters with the Curse of the Night Wraith. Alien Eyebrows no longer available for child spellcasters. Dream Home Decorator, the shorts long are now appearing in the hot weather category, and the interior decorator career kilt now displays correctly in Create a Sim, showing the kilt instead of underwear. My Wedding Stories, the dashing leather shoes are now free from distortion, step out in style. With Werewolves, the cute little toddler Wolfie onesie was a little too warm as a hot weather outfit and no longer appears in that category. The patched punk styled look now puts on the proper pants. They removed some piercings, necklaces, and socks for werewolves that weren't so flattering for them in beast form, and choosing a werewolf head shape no longer resets muzzle length. Now the kits. The poolside sandals can now be found under the shoes subcategory in Create a Sim. Riviera Retreat. The drink tray is now in the kitchen appliance category in build mode, called On a Silver Platter. Cozy Bistro, a number of items now are in more logical categories. For Sweet Slumber Party, the appropriate shoes now appear for the masculine fashion choice filter. Secret Sanctuary, the SP59 dress, you know, the red one with the slit that is amazing, now fits larger sims better for more dazzle and riz. The Arcane Aroma tea tray now is in the kitchen appliance category in build mode. Drinks are served. And last but not least, in Business Chic, the sleek chic watch now appears for the masculine fashion choice filter. Alright, so now let's get into the game so that way we can see the updates and also see some of the changes that have happened with the bug fixes. So I'm here with my sim, Blair Silverman. I thought I'd have her help us show off the new update stuff. So the first thing that we're going to take a look at is in the bottom panel over here underneath your sim, and that is the notebook. So if you click on the notebook, we now have an area where you can put in your own entries, your own little notes. It could be related to the skills that get entered into your notebook, like gardening and fishing, or you could probably just use it as a space to, like, you know, write notes about your sim if you want to. Literally whatever you want. And then if you click right here, it now brings us to the new menu for the household collections. You can see all the different things you've collected already. Obviously I haven't played with the sim, she hasn't collected anything, but if she had, then it would pop up and show us here. The next section here is the sim stats. So both of these are things that were already accessible, but I don't think you could normally access it through the notebook. However, now you can see your sim stats as well. So for example, how many times your sim has cooked a meal, how many showers they've taken, how many times they've kissed, etc, etc. So first thing I want to do is we're gonna buy some planter pots. We have a few new interactions for gardening. You can now hit evolve all, and I believe fertilize all is a new one as well. We're also gonna get a gnome. So I'm very curious. Apparently there's something new you can do with the gnomes. I'll get a couple. And while we're in build mode, I want to show you that we can now place certain plants on the roof. So if you go into like the shrubs section, it'll tell you underneath if like one of the plants is roof placeable. That's a new added detail for the ones that can be placed on the roof. For example, this one doesn't have it, and you can see it just like melds into the roof. Well, this one does have it, so when I place it down, it actually sits on top of the roof. And then another way you can find these things that are roof placeable in just one space is by going to roof sculptures, and then it'll have all the placeable plants that can go on the roof. So for example, like this one, this one, this one. It says this one is roof placeable, but oh, I guess it's meant to kind of just like peek through. Yeah, I actually like that, to be honest. At first I was like, oh, this entire thing is gonna sit on top, but no, that's nice if you want some like leaves to pick through in between. Okay, the other thing we got are, and this is the one that I'm super excited about, is glass walls. Not glass windows, but glass walls. So if you head into wall patterns and then you go into the miscellaneous category, then you will find these walls here. So we have the wide paneled wall, which looks like this. So technically one would have to go there too. We also have the rectangular paneled wall. So that's like your one tile window almost. We have the hexagon paneled wall. We also have the ornamental scroll work glass wall. This one's really fancy. And then we also have the diamond paneled wall, and last but not least, the seamless glass wall, which I'm very much a fan of because you could use this to create like very long windows. Obviously they're walls, but they can act as windows. And I'm kind of curious, I guess that would be kind of pointless. Maybe actually if you took like a column or something, you could kind of use that. So if you wanted to have like a 3-panel window, you could use that. But essentially you could create like your own windows. And there's other like beams and stuff that you could put if you don't want it to be like this thick in between, but essentially you have more customizable floor to ceiling windows slash glass walls. And all of these are made to match the glass roof patterns that we have. So if you want to do like, you know, a solid sheet like here and have windows all around your entire house, or this would be perfect for like a greenhouse. Maybe you want to add it for a swimming pool. Maybe you want to use it for like a garage. I don't know, but either way, it looks really cool. So, oh, this gnome is moving. Hello? Oh, they're all moving. I don't know if they always move, but this one was like wobbling. I'm like, hello? You can also name the gnome, so I can name him like Smithy. I don't know why that name popped in my head. They're like dancing. Look at them. So cute. Oh my goodness, they're all moving. We're gonna purchase some starter flowers here. And apparently in the last patch, that's what brought us the ability to form friendships with gnomes, and now they're moving. And I'm pretty sure the new pack is gonna add something for gnomes as well, so that'll be interesting. All right, I'm gonna have her plant these flowers here. And then I also want to show you that we do have the fertilize all option. My sim is not gardening skill level 3, but if she was, she'd be able to fertilize all of these plants at the same time. We're also going to water these plants. Okay, and we found the dirt surfer frog. And if we head over to our household collections now, we will see that that pops up in the collections. And same thing for gardening. Now we can see the begonia. I think if we found a flower like while foraging, then that would show up in our notebook as well. So the next thing we're going to look at is there's a new little spoiled food icon, so I'm gonna go serve some food. Okay, so she made herself some onigiri. I'm gonna put this in her inventory, and then once it spoils, the icon like in the background, it'll turn red, and if you have more than one spoiled food option, it'll stack and have a new icon that just shows like spoiled food. And then when you click on it, just as if I were to click this stack, it would pop up with all of the spoiled food that's in your Sim's inventory. Okay, so there also have been a few Create a Sim editions, so we're gonna go into cast to show them off. Okay, so the first thing that we now have is if you own vampires or get to work, then the occult eyes are now available for any Sim. As you can see here, she has all of of these cool options, which would also be nice if you want to like have your sim like cosplay, or if you want to just like, I don't know, make them look like an alien even if they're not. So that's really cool. And then for the ears, before you could only do like the pointy ears for occults, now you can do it for any sim, which is really cool. And we have all of these options here. And then we have one new cast item, which is under the head decorations tab. Oh, that's new. I don't think we had this tab before. I think that's also like in prep for the new pack, because we'll be able to add like horns and probably other stuff for like the fairies. So that's very nice that we got a new tab, and in there we have a headband. But what I'm thinking is, if they gave us this headband, you know, in the update, right, and this is now the head decorations, maybe in the future we'll be able to get like more headbands or just things that just sit on the head that don't require a hat. For example, I would love to see like a pair of headphones that your Sims can wear that isn't attached to a hat, that they could wear as like an accessory. That would be so cute. All right, so these are all the different swatches. We have some with polka dots and then we have some without. My only complaint is that I think it's a little huge, but I do think it will be cute, like if you wanted to put this around your Sim's hair when they go to bed, or maybe just like a cute little thing to wear around the house. So we'll do something like that. If we go under accessories in the body category, there's a new section called skin effects, and if we click on it, it'll give your Sims a like shiny gloss, and we can change that up. We can make it more saturated, we can make it more glossy or less glossy. Okay, and then we also got some new eyelashes. Sorry, it's the same lashes, but they now have colors. I still personally feel like the lashes definitely need to be reworked. We can do all these different colored ones. I do think they changed them up a little bit, because I feel like they're a little less, I don't know, maybe they do look the same. I do kind of like it, but I like it more as like a liner effect as opposed to using it as lashes. And then for this one, I think they're definitely cool. I do like that, like for those who are on console, like they have access to lashes. Next, we have dirty fingernails. So if you go into the nail section and you go all the way down here, we have these ones that have like dirt and grime underneath, or like little pieces of grass, I guess to make it look like your Sim has been working in their garden. I feel like you could also just use these as like, you know, like if your Sim is like in construction or something, or just works in something that requires like them getting their hands dirty a little bit more. I think that's really cool. And then there's also these ones, which is like a new French tip kind of vibe, or maybe more just like natural nails. I think these are really cute. I actually really like these ones. All right, and I think that is actually everything that has come with this new update, or at least most of the things. If there's anything else that I haven't covered that you've heard about, feel free to share it in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everyone.